All right, 6:11, and this will call this meeting to order. City Clerk, can you call the roll?
Councilmember Carter,
Present.
Councilmember Ellett,
Present.
Councilmember Marroquin, Mayor Pro Tem Camarena,
Present.
Mayor Crancho.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Perfect. May I ask all of you to stand, please, for the pledge of allegiance? Do the honor, please.
Please join us by placing your hand over your heart. Ready, began.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will you do the invocation, please?
Certainly.
Continue to stand.
Should we pray? Once again, our Father, we're so thankful to you for all the blessings that you give us daily that we often take for granted. We thank you for the relative peace and prosperity and stability that we live in that many, many other people don't have. We thank you, Father, for our staff, these fellow council members, striving to do the best we can for the city of El Centro. So we pray for this community, and we pray for wisdom about doing the city's business and doing it in a right way and the best that we can do to our abilities. And we ask your hand of blessing on this meeting. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Very good. City Attorney, do we have anything to report out of closed session?
There are no reportable actions from closed session.
Very good. Thank you very much. We'll move into public comment. This public meeting, if there's any items on the agenda in which you wish to be heard, you are asked to complete a blue slip, a speaker slip, and submit to the city clerk prior to the start of the meeting. Persons who wish to address the city council are not required to identify themselves. However, the information is to assist the mayor by ensuring all persons wishing to address the council are recognized, and also assist the city council or city clerk in preparing the city council minutes. When the item is announced, your name will be called by the mayor. Please step up to the podium, state your name for the record. Unless the mayor extends your time, there will be a 3-minute time limit for each public presentation. If you wish to address the council concerning any other matters not appearing on the agenda, you may do so during the public comment portion of the agenda. Okay. And we have Mr. Ainsworth, if you could come on up.
Good evening, Council. Sky Ainsworth, resident of El Centro since 1988. I speak to you on behalf of myself as a concerned citizen about data centers, and to inform you that, so this past Saturday, there was a nationwide protest to raise awareness about data centers. El Centro, there was participation. It was myself and the local artist, Bob Diaz. We got several positive responses from people driving by. And so from my own personal perspective, data centers, they're a wonderful thing. It's an amazing thing. I'm a nerd. I'm a technology nerd. I love the ideas with data centers. I would love to see these things, as part of the community. The project that's being proposed in Imperial, I just think that's a bad idea. And it's a bad idea for the community. It's not going to work for us as ratepayers for electricity and for water. The farmers are not going to like it. But if you were to have smaller things that were fit, in the size of a house and take as little to no electricity or water, very sustainable, and that are able to employ a lot of people, hey, that would be an amazing thing. The local unions would love that. So that's just my opinion on it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Ainsworth. Appreciate it.
We have an additional public comment?
Yes, I saw that come in. Do we have any online?
No, none online.
Britton, if you come up for reps for vets.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having us here this evening. So my name is Brennan Brown. I am the founder and director of Reps for Vets. We are a 12-week wellness peer support program here in Imperial County. We've been working with veterans here in a close capacity for it'll be 6 years this August. Our mission is to help veterans with their wellness, and we also connect them to behavioral health services. And over our time of doing the work that we do, we have seen many different needs for veterans in the community, working with veterans from all different types of populations. In Imperial County, we have 6,500 veterans on average at a given time. Per the last statistic report from the IVCCC, we have a homeless population of 41 veterans in Imperial County, with around, out of the 6,500, around anywhere from 10 to 15% being at risk of being homeless. Reps for Vets, we've identified this and we've started a new program called Roofs for Recovery. And we're asking the city for help. We have 6 trailers that we've had renovated. We had a negotiation and a deal with a local trailer park that was going to allow us to put the trailers on their property. And after making that deal, we invested $25,000 that we received from a private donor to put into these trailers. And our goal was to be up and running by June. Unfortunately, the individual who's going to allow us to use the property backed out in the last minute. And now we have our trailers sitting in a storage, not getting used properly. The program, it's a 6-month to 12 months transitioning program where we don't just provide housing. We help connect these veterans to behavioral health services. We help them get detoxed off of any substances that they might be struggling with. We help them with their VA rating. We also put them through our 12-week wellness program to do a aftercare sobriety maintenance. We connect them with Veterans Village of San Diego to help them with job certificate training. And then we also help them, once they graduate, go through Housing for Heroes with the 2-year rental assistance program, doing follow-ups periodically, and at 18 months, help them get a VA loan and get a home. So we want to help these veterans and at risk of being homeless, guys that are just couch surfing, get their lives together. We're asking the city if they could help us, if they could help us identify some land and potentially support our efforts. Every warrior deserves an angel. And these guys have been through chaos. And I know I've had some guardian angels on my behalf. So I'm just asking you, especially with this weekend coming up, if you guys could just kind of be an angel for these guys and help them out and get a nice fresh start.
Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and then presentations. We have a proclamation to present. And I see our folks are here or represent. So this is, if we could have Abraham step on that.
Please?
Oh, you want me to start?
Yes.
Oh. I thought you had something worked out.
I'll go after you, sir.
Okay, all right, I got you. All right, the City of El Centro Proclamation, National Public Works Week, May 17th through the 23rd, 2026. Whereas public works professionals plan, build, operate, and maintain a wide range of vital services, including roads, water, and wastewater systems, facility maintenance, engineering services, public spaces that enhance the quality of life for our community. And whereas National Public Works Week offers an opportunity to recognize and appreciate the hardworking professionals who provide these critical services through dedication, expertise, purpose, pride, and hard work. And whereas American Public Works Association has designated 2026 National Public Works Week theme as Rooted in Services, Powered by Community, highlighting the essential role public works professionals play in our daily lives. And whereas it is in the public's interest for the residents, civic leaders, and business community of the City of El Centro to gain knowledge of and maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of the public work and public work programs that contribute to the health and safety of our city. Whereas the mayor and city council members proudly recognize the substantial contributions the City Works Department makes to protect our residents of El Centro and extends their sincere appreciation for advancing quality of life for all. Now, therefore, I, Michael Crankshaw, Mayor of City of El Centro, State of California, do hereby proclaim May 17th through the 23rd, 2026 as National Public Works Week in the City of El Centro. Congratulations.
Thank you. All right, well, thank you for this honor and for recognizing the staff. This is a national movement by APWA, the American Public Works Association. Just driving by State Street, I noticed that the County of Imperial has their sign up as well. This is something that's going across not only our county, but as I mentioned, the state and the nation. It's a moment to reflect on the service that public works employees do to the city. As the motto for this year says, rooted in service, powered by community. It is our community that brings this department together that we are attending to. Today, I just want to highlight a few of the members that came in today. So we have from our Public Works Administration, we have Gabe, Liz, Catherine, and maybe you can stand up because there's a few members as well. So can you stand up to be recognized? And because we have various divisions in Public Works. In Facility Maintenance, Mike, Reed, and Frankie, so if you can.
Yes.
And in engineering, we have Jaime and Luis in our engineering department. And wastewater as well. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, thank you. But I appreciate it. So we have, we're about 80 employees strong at this point.
Wow.
So it's 78 to 80, it fluctuates. So, and it sounds like a lot, but every division it's a little group. And it's a little family. And today we got together. We had an opportunity to do a training where we all got together today as part of this week and the festivities that we're doing through this week. Thankful to our admin staff for putting that together. And we all had lunch together. So it is being able to meet with one another, recognize the old employees and the new employees, and bringing that community spirit back to us so we can share that to the community. Just want to say thank you to our staff and thank you to our council for their support in allowing us to move forward. Thank you. And we do have a video, a great video.
Wow.
So Emilio did a fantastic job.
All
I've
right.
let him start it. It's an amazing job by Emilio.
In El Centro, service starts before the day begins and continues long after it ends. Rooted in service, powered by community. It's the mindset behind the work happening across our city every single day. Every street maintained, every drop of water delivered, every system kept running. All part of a commitment to serving our community. Public Works is the backbone of El Centro, providing essential services residents rely on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Across the city, our teams work behind the scenes to keep El Centro moving forward. Maintaining streets, managing water and sewer systems, committed to action when it matters most. It's work that often goes unseen, but makes a visible difference every day. Because when service is rooted in purpose, it creates reliability, safety, and trust throughout the community. But Public Works doesn't operate alone. The priorities we focus on and the projects we build are shaped by the people we serve. Through collaboration with residents, businesses, and city leadership, we turn community input into action. That partnership drives us forward, building a city that reflects shared goals and a shared future. That commitment can be seen in projects across El Centro. From major projects to everyday improvements, each investment is built to serve our community for years to come. The Southern Pump Station strengthens essential infrastructure, expanding capacity, improving efficiency, and preparing our city for future growth. The pedestrian beacons along Imperial Avenue provide accessibility features that enhance traffic safety for all. We continue to enhance streets, sidewalks, and accessibility, creating safer and more connected neighborhoods. Our water and wastewater projects improve reliability while supporting long-term sustainability. And through environmental efforts like stormwater improvements, recycling, and waste reduction, we are protecting the resources our community depends on. At the heart of it all are the people who make this work possible. Engineers, operators, mechanics, maintenance, and administrative staff working together every day to keep essential services running. Their dedication and commitment to service keep El Centro strong. Service isn't just what we do, it's who we are. And everything we build is powered by the community we serve. Together, we're creating a stronger, safer, and more resilient future for our city. Thank you to our Public Works team.
Rooted in service, powered by community, we are Public Works.
I'm extremely proud of this group.
I'm just blown away that you guys could stand perfectly and make the letters out.
It wasn't the first
It
try.
was a process. So, let me start with Sonia, if there.
Oh, wow. As always, phenomenal job, Emilio, on the video. I just can't say enough about Public Works. I stepped into your world. I went to go visit, and I've walked and I've looked, and wow, wow, wow. It's a lot of unseen work. It's a lot that's done that we just do not have no clue, and I wouldn't even want to do it. So kudos to all of you. Kudos to all of you, because I look in that water and I'm looking and I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, so it's different things, and you don't know what people do. And we really honor you. We thank you and we appreciate you. Thank you for everything that you do.
Sylvia?
I was just thinking here from fixing potholes on the street to maintaining our water, levels at safety and safety levels to where we can drink and we can use, and then also, all the waste that goes through there. Oh my gosh, Abraham, it's just like you guys do a multitude of things, and and our community, where would we be without you? So it's like, so I just want to say thank you, and all of the staff and Public Works, for all you do day in and day out, and for being there for our residents, because in times of trouble, times of need, times of emergencies, you guys are right in the trenches along with first responders. So thank you, and don't forget to mention tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna
Okay,
get there.
yeah, I know.
It's here.
We take so much of what all of you guys do at Public Works for granted. I grew up out in the country. You don't take anything for granted. You have your own sewer, your own water. You have to rely on the power that's maybe here. And so we take so much for granted. The streets, the traffic lights, our water, our sewer. It's so easy to just expect it to come on without thinking of all the infrastructure and all the people that make it work and keep it working day after day, right? 24/7. So this is a great time to say thanks to everybody and your team, Abraham, and all the work that you guys do. We need to appreciate it as we should. Thank you.
Claudia?
Just want to echo what they said and just say truly, truly heroes behind the scenes. I know that there's been times where I've seen floods from storms and stuff, and there's the city truck with guys on the corner trying to take care of things, and we take that for granted. People go home and are safe and they're out there. And so I just really appreciate all the overtime that, I know that's put in to this and the service to our residents that we truly do take for granted.
Well, if I known it was National Public Works, if I would have remembered, I would have bit your head off earlier today. Okay. Was that an AI? Was that an AI voiceover? That was pretty cool.
Yes.
Selection.
It's Emilio's
That's
magic.
Emilio's project, okay.
I don't get into the details.
I get it. So typically, I don't think of you. I don't think of any of you
Right.
because everything's
Compliments.
working,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
So that's probably the greatest compliment is that everything is working, and so we don't have that thought. And then, of course, when things aren't, I truly believe that it said in the video that you're the backbone of the city, but you are the hub for sure that connects our community with our city, 100%. And with that, the commitment by all your folks at the different levels, the dependability, especially on the on-call side of things, because nothing goes wrong,
8 to 5.
during our 8 to 5, right? We are truly community-wise, council-wise, grateful to all of you for what you do, and it's heartfelt. So thank you very much again. And if I could just. And I understand that you have.
Just the announcement. So thank you for all the kind words. Quick reminder, the week continues. We started the festivities today. We continue tomorrow. We have Public Works Week Expo tomorrow here in our courtyard, 8 to 12. We invite the public to attend. Also in this very room at 10 a.m. we'll be available, myself and other supervisors, to explain career paths for whoever wants to stop by. Hopefully we get some folks from IVC or kids from field trips. And it's more of a career type orientation. It's just to learn what it takes to come in through everywhere from entry-level jobs to administrative to engineers. So you have everything in the between. We have all types of positions here at Public Works.
Great.
That's great. Thank you very much. That outreach
Nice.
is very important. So, well, if I could, I'd have you come up and bring your team or.
If I may, all Public Works, just join us up here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations. Yes.
So as an announcement, prior to moving on to the consent agenda, I would like to get a motion to go ahead and remove item number 13 for a later date. If I could get a motion, or I make that motion.
You make
I
it.
can make that motion.
Yeah.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Oh, go ahead.
Councilmember Carter,
Yes.
Councilmember Alec,
Yes.
Councilmember Marroquin,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Camarena,
Yes.
Mayor Crenshaw.
Yes.
The motion passes 5-0.
Very good, thank you. Moving on to consent agendas, items 2 through 8. I'm looking to get a motion to approve consent agenda.
Yes, and I would like to motion to approve consent agenda items 2 through number 8.
I'll second.
Motion passes 5-0.
Very good. Thank you. Moving to unfinished business, if I could have Adriana Nava, discussion and necessary action regarding communication site lease agreement with Vero Fiber.
Hello, Honorable Mayor and Council. The item before you came before you back in April, I think it was April 14. And at that time, there were some questions and some modifications being asked. And so since then, the original proposal included a leased area of 1,200 square feet. It also included an above ground 250-gallon propane tank. Monthly rent was stated at $200, and then the Wi-Fi provision was not clearly identified in the agreement. And then at that time, additional public input was requested from council. So since then, in the revised agreement, the lease area has been reduced to 300 square feet. The propane tank has been removed, and monthly rent has been increased to $500 per month. And in addition to that, the agreement now specifically added language that the city would be able to provide free Wi-Fi at Buckland Park. And then in terms of the survey was conducted from April 28th to May 8th. And I do want to add on the survey, we did go door to door on all of the residences abutting the park on the western portion. And then we posted signage at the park indicating that the survey was available. And so the new concept site plan is included in this slide. It shows the minimized area to 300 square feet. And then the concept site plan also removed the propane tank from the original proposal. In terms of the survey, there were 51 responses that were provided. Generally, the feedback was mixed, but leaned towards supportive. And then there were a couple of questions regarding noise, safety, lighting, Wi-Fi security, loitering, and use of the lease revenue. So some people said, why don't you use that funding back to go towards the park? Some people identified some additional amenities they wanted. I know one of them was like an expanded playground, which I understand. So some people use the survey as a way to communicate other desires. And so in terms of comments regarding the limitations on Wi-Fi services, I did want to point out the city does provide public Wi-Fi at a couple locations, this being one of them, the library and First Responders Park. And generally at First Responders, it's from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. So there are limitations that our IT division, they set parameters. At First Responders, there's also a filter on it, so you can only see sites that are, general in nature. In terms of the key agreement terms, it would be a 15-year term, rent set at $500 with a 5% annual escalation. Previously, I believe it was a little lower. I think it was at 3%. And then Vero would be responsible for all building permits, construction, maintenance, utilities, and compliance with all applicable laws. And then the company is also required to have insurance coverage. And so if there were anything associated with it, we're added as additional insured, which is a standard protocol for the city. And then upon expiration of the lease, they would be required to put the site the same way it was. Good condition. So overall, I'm here to answer any questions on the subject matter and see if there's anything else or comments from the council.
Thank you for the presentation. Council, do we have any questions in regards to this?
I have a question. May I ask why the lease is 15 years? Is that normal?
It's actually a shorter term lease. We've had longer. We have a lease with RCOE that I think is about 30 years. Mm-hmm. So it just depends on the request from the party.
And what's RCO? I'm sorry, RCEO?
Oh, Riverside County Office of Education. We have one at Parks and Recreation. They are hosted out of there, the little school in the back, that's city property. And we have a lease with them.
Okay. And the survey says that there's concern about the homeless coming in because of the free Wi-Fi and a lot of loitering. Do you see that issue at the First Responders Park?
No, we haven't had that issue at First Responders Park. I think people who generally use it are people sometimes when you're exercising, you're using an app like Strava for running. You'll use your app so that you're not using as much of your cellular data because that's a little expensive. At McGee, I think I've seen also people do homework. People just want to get away from their house a little bit and I've seen them do homework. It just depends, I think, on where the park is located. As to our transient population, we do have security hours there. And, you know, if they're not disturbing anybody, they're allowed to use the park just like anybody else and get respite from the heat. When we do have the pool center, we do establish the parks as places of respite for people where we do have water for them as well. They're humans, and I think it's important that, you know, we treat them with human dignity.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you said that because that goes back to our cooling centers. To be able to we keep them outside and they should be, as humans, allowed to go somewhere inside. But that's another topic. So I had another question regarding the 5% increase. Are we limited to that as far as the annual escalation fee?
Right now, the agreement is identified at 5%. You're not limited to any of these terms. This is why it comes before council, and council can decide on terms. We think these are generally pretty good terms considering it's 300 square feet, $500 plus $200 is the value of the monthly internet services that we'll have because we don't have fiber at the park. So that puts it at about $700 per month for 300 square feet. Unimproved property, we think that's, you know, reasonable, and I would say fair market.
Okay, and I do want to make a clarification at this point that I had received information, I believe I shared it with Councilmember Allett, from our city managers that the rent should have been $1,800 a month, but that was based on
Warehouse.
with a warehouse. But
Footage.
he didn't say it as non-developed and so forth. So he went back and he did a calculation this afternoon because I was questioning, how do you go from 1,800 to 500? But he said that that was because he was doing it with a warehouse. So based on the numbers that he gave me before we came in here, the $500 was adequate as far as the rental. I would like to, based on inflation and so forth, though, I would just like to make a suggestion that the annual escalation fee be 10% minimum. And I would like to say about the concerns that came back in the survey about the transits and so forth, that be monitored closely or maybe phased in.
Very good. Any other comments?
You know, I think that the agreement and the terms in the agreement are, my gosh, I lost my train of thought. I think they're reasonable. You know, it's a second. I would just propose that we keep it as is stated in our documentation here. I mean, you know, I think that I too reviewed the responses that we received from the surveys, and I think Adriana addressed all of those concerns. And, you know, just based on other facilities that we also own and that we monitor and we have quite a bit of activity at, it's just like we have kept security, not only security on site, you know, but we also have staff that's continuously on the lookout, you know, to ensure that, you know, that the patrons that are there are safe. And, you know, police is always readily, you know, available, you know, to address any concerns if anything were to happen, you know, but, you know, we've, I think, maintained a pretty safe environment, not only in our parks, but also at our facilities. So I think that the terms of this agreement are reasonable. As is.
I think I also want to note that we added some cameras recently at Buckland Park. Again, how many did we add? I'm sorry. Put you on the spot. Yeah, at Buckland. 32 cameras at Buckland Park as well. They're placed internally and also in the parking lots. That's where we've seen things happen more in the parking lots rather than inside the park. And so we've placed 32 cameras within the park. It is our most widely used park. We love, I mean, I think we personally, if you look at reviews at Buckland Park, it's got great reviews. And a lot of it is because I think it's considered a safe environment. Some of our patrons do go there very early in the morning, especially during summer, and that's when we do have security. Our security hours are based on usage, and we tailor those hours based on community need.
What are our hours right now?
I don't have that information before me, but I can provide you with the hours that we have. Thank you. And reason why it is we do start this early is because that's when we have lower numbers at the park, and that's when you want security there, because when there is a lot of population, people generally behave well, but it's when there's less people that people tend to do things they're not supposed to. So we start them early. I couldn't remember, but thank you if they're there at 4 a.m. and you've seen it. Appreciate it. Again, going back to usage, our community is very well aware of, they go there daily, a lot of our users.
So I will say that, like any topic, I mean, there's a lot of, when you put more heads on it and there's thought to it, certainly I can see where we're looking at making sure we're within, fair market values, and that. I also will say that one of the things that we need to be mindful as a council is that when staff is here and they're presenting and they're seeing the bigger picture, they do have some information that we don't. And so, sometimes for us, we're looking at it from a different angle. And so information is great to have. It allows us to make an informed decision. Based on the input that I've heard, I mean, I also agree that I do understand the bigger picture, making sure that we are, but I think this is fair and equitable. And I think that it's a win-win, I think, for the city, for the provider, and for the community as a whole. So I would, we're for action, looking for a motion. If we wanted to go ahead and if someone make a motion to accept this under the terms that was currently presented.
Mayor, I'd like to make a clarification on what you stated. I agree that the department heads have knowledge and so forth, but the last information we got totally changed
Oh, absolutely.
the concept of what this was. So
Yes.
it's not just a one-way, it's a two-way. And that's how we got from a 250 gallon propane tank being installed into the park into none. And so it's important for us, we take the information, but we're also responsible as council to research what we're given. That's why we have agenda reviews, and also to do our own homework and be able to see what is the totality of this. Like this company just received, correct me if I'm wrong, because there's two that are similar, 50 million or $1 billion investment to be able to go ahead and do infrastructure improvements throughout the states. And if that's the case, that's why I'm saying the city of El Centro is a business. We take care of a city, of the businesses that come in, and we also take care of our residents. When we do that, when we're making contracts with people, we can't, and I'm not saying that this is the case here, but we cannot continue as a city council or as a city to have a poverty mentality and not be able to say we are worth this and this is what we're going to ask for. And that's the point that I'm bringing here. So I'm going to make a motion to be able to, well,
If I may, Mr. Mayor.
Sure.
You said that there was security starting at 4:15 a.m.?
I think it's for 4. I think it's at 4.
4:15.
Yeah.
Then till when? Till, okay. And in the evenings, is there security in the evenings?
Yes, we break it up into 2 shifts, a morning shift and an evening shift. I didn't bring the specific security hours, and I don't want to speak out of turn, but we do it very early in the morning, and then towards nighttime, I think we do it to 11 or midnight. So we do break it up, because during the middle of the day is when we don't really see.
I think it'd be nice for
issues
the
in the
public
park.
to know that And
Yeah, we
and-
do,
And if we do get busier,
reason-
we might have to do more
Yeah, reason-
signage about e-bikes on the path and things like that. If
Yeah,
we-
reason why we don't post the hours, because if we do, then there's
Mhm.
this is the
Okay.
unknown factor.
Okay,
Yes. Does that make,
okay.
And just before your motion, I want to clarify that, yes, we were provided in the first presentation, and this is completely a different presentation with a different set of the information provided. We went from 1,200 to 300. We went from a possible building to just land, and we went from a propane tank to none. So where I was referring to is this presentation in here, not the one that we were presented. And so I want to clarify that, because you're absolutely right. When we're provided information, then we get around it to make sure. And that's kind of how the survey came about, right? Is the direction.
yes, yes. And so based on what happens was when council gives us feedback, for example, during the first meeting, then we go back and we say, okay, council mentioned these concerns. We address them with the other party, and then we bring back an amended proposal based on the feedback that was received. And so
Right.
we went for the survey, we made sure that we identified every single home. All of those homes were walked at the park, again, providing mass notification, not just through our PIO, but at the park itself. I think from an economic development business perspective, I think it's also important to note that El Centro is the starting point and the hub. The intent is to expand to Imperial and to Heber, and I believe they said potentially Calexico as well. And so El Centro is the first that would be receiving this fiber service if everything that the company has said is accurate, true, to their best of their knowledge. And so I think that's really important because those are also jobs that are going to be created here, and also our local economy. When employees come in from other contractors, they come in, they go to our restaurants, they stay in our hotels, and it's a way to stimulate growth in El Centro. And I think from that perspective, because the site is really important to them, it definitely helps catapult that in our local economy.
Yes, and I appreciate that. I want a point of clarification that it was based on this newer proposal versus the previous proposal. And so Councilmember Cameron was correct in what she was saying. I just wanted to make sure that we were all on the same page. So with that, I understand you may have a motion, or did Sylvia have a, pardon me?
I would like to motion to approve the lease agreement with Beryl Broadband as presented.
We have a motion. Do I have a second? I will second it.
Motion passes 4 yes and 1 no.
Moving on. Thank you. Moving on to new business. If this would, let's see, I think I know this presenter. Oh, it's me. So this presentation will be for resolution for the council to consider in adopting a council policy 117 for disruptions of meetings. The background on this will be on October 3rd, 2025, Governor Newsom signed into law a state Senate Bill 707, which amends the Brown Act with the intent to diversify and increasing the public engagement during public government meetings and legislative bodies. Among the various new requirements under SB 707, all qualified legislative bodies must now offer hybrid meetings through two-way phone and video platform. I am pleased to announce that we are already currently in compliance with that portion of 707. In addition to 707 requires the city formally adopt a policy, which is what we are looking at doing currently, before July 1st, 2026. It outlines the procedures, recessing and reconvening meetings in the event of disruption or efforts that the city council and the staff shall make to attempt to restore the services. This is basically twofold. The first disruption is, which would be the internet or some type of technological interruptions, and in which response to that would be that we would attempt within 1 hour's time to get the meeting back up. And so it can be twofold or bifold for the Zoom and the video conferencing, so everyone can participate, those who are not here. And then the second one is actual in-person disruptions. And this is basically setting forth the behavior or the procedures in which we would take care of either one of those. After 1 hour on the technical side, we would make a decision if we were to continue with the meeting or to table the meeting until we could get it back up. It would depend maybe on the items that were in there and if they were time sensitive. And obviously, in regards to if there was disruptions in the meeting, there would be a warning for that disruption to not occur, to be followed by a direction to be removed. So this policy, all council has this in their background information, and I would be looking for a motion to accept policy number 117, disruption of meetings, into or adopted.
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution as is, the policy.
And I will second.
Motion passes 5-0.
Very good. Thank you very much. New business, item number 11, taxi cab rate adjustment, cost of living and operation cost update. Liz, our finance director.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. The item before you tonight is a public hearing regarding a request adjustment to the city CAF fare schedule. Under the Municipal Code Article 3, Section 2782, taxi operators submitted, an owner might file a written application within the city clerk requesting an increase in the maximum tariff of rates. The application shall contain the applicant's reasons and justification for the increase. The taxi operator submitted a formal request through the city clerk and directed to the finance department, citing the increased operating expenses and the need of the adjustment to the current taxi cab fare structure. Why? They're saying let me go back. The adjustment needs to be done because the last time this was adjusted was in 2022. The operating costs have increased significantly since then. Fuel, insurance, repairs, lease payments, and labor costs continue to rise. Taxi operators report current fares no longer cover daily operating expenditures. This was expressed on their letter. Staff review the request, evaluate current market conditions, and analyze the proposed increases submitted by the taxi cab owners. So we found these are the major cost increases since 2022. The California gas prices remain between approximately $5.50 to $6 per gallon. Commercial insurance premiums had increased an estimate between 20 and 40%. Vehicle repairs and replacement parts increased between 20 and 35%, and California minimum wage and labor costs increased approximately between 15 to 25%. On their letter, the taxi cab owners proposed these rates. So there's this category, so standard fare, the proposed rate is $12. Senior fare, same $12 with no discount. Wait time, 50 cents per minute, and the maximum wait time at $30 per hour. Staff review the request and is recommending an increase that is less than the amount originally requested by the operators. And we're going to be proposing 2 scenarios. This is a scenario number 1, where we're showing the standard fare. Current rate is $8, and we are proposing at $9.50. That's an increase of 19%. Senior fare from $4.50, that's the current, to $6 is an increase of 33%. Wait times from 50 cents per minute to 65 cents per minute, an increase of 30%. And the maximum wait time from $25 per hour to $39 per hour, that's an increase of 56%. Okay, now keep this in mind. Let's go to scenario number 2. Scenario number 2 is a little more conservative or standard. The increases between the percentages. The standard fare from $8 to $9.75, 22% increase. Senior fare, $4.50 to $5.25, 17%. Wait time from 50 cents to 60 cents, that's a 20% increase. And the maximum wait time per hour, from $25 per hour to $35 per hour. So staff believe that this recommendation helps addressing the rising operating cost while still keeping fares affordable and maintaining a reduced fares for seniors citizens. And for this is the end of my presentation. I am just looking for direction and which schedule will you like to approve. And I believe we have some of the taxi cab owners here. You're going to open the
Would they
public
like to make
hearing?
a presentation?
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Can you go back to the first option?
yes.
Let me-
This,
No, I know.
this one.
There you go. Okay, and then
And the next
I'm
one?
gonna bring it over to the, okay, there we go. Okay,
That's it.
thank you.
And this is when they were requesting $12, $50, and $38 max.
Do we have someone who would like to speak on behalf of the, or no?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Roland Medina, and I work with the taxi, American Taxi. It's been very hard. Most of us, we come from the fields. Can't do nothing else. I think seniors, it's not that we don't want to help them. In fact, us, this July, it'll be 5 years giving free rides to people with cancer to 1410 South Laboratory. So we do like helping people. $5, $5.50, it's very, very difficult for us to survive. Even though I know the cost for when the people come in the taxi and then we talk to them and they're paying $1,000 for a studio or things like that, it's very, very difficult. We do understand, but our insurance has gone up. Not to mention the how do you call that? The raiteros, piratas, I guess, pirates. I don't know how to say it. They come and they take the business. In Calexico, even the last chief of police, we were there talking to him. He knew there was this guy that was renting and collecting the money, $50. He had 3 cars for the raiteros piratas right there in front of Jack in the Box. $50 each, charge them right there in front. He knew. So, this really hurt us and the police, and they're not doing nothing, to protect us. In fact, there was a hit and run 3 weeks ago. I had to pay private investigator, get the license plate, where they live, and nobody does anything. And yeah, I do understand, again, waiting for the seniors. I don't know if it could something, you know, maybe city council could give us, give them a coupon and then you pay us back or something. I don't know. You know, it's just a question. And the, on the race, you said, how about $10 instead of 12? I mean, you know, I'm trying to be fair because I do understand the people, especially the ones that, most of them that work in the fields or even other places that they only work part-time. They give them 2-3 hours. It's only enough for the taxi. And what do they live with, you know? And I see that every day and I don't like it, but that's the way it is, you know. It's hard. We do understand it's very, very difficult for them to, but I guess $10 and seniors, if you could help us with coupons or something, it would be great for us. But we are suffering, all of us. And with the raiteros, I don't know if somebody could talk to the police. We've been talking. We could even get you the license plate and just be like, how do you say it? Like anybody else calling, hey, here, I need a ride here. Because they're even here in El Centro. They pick up at Walmart, they take to Walmart, they take to the Social Security, they take them everywhere. And over here, we're doing anything and paying high insurance of 500 and something for a car, you know, a month. I guess that's all. Thank you.
I have a
Yeah.
question for you,
Oh, sure.
if I may. So, yeah, actually, this is ongoing for years and years and years. As far as the pirating, I know that law enforcement had done proactive. In fact, I was involved in several of them where we had an officer pose as the potential rider, and when they would charge, we would go ahead and cite them and store the vehicle and see if we can't curb that type of thing. I don't know if you've had an opportunity to speak with our police. Maybe we can connect you when we get done here.
Sure.
And then I had a question about the hit and run. Was that here in the city?
It was in Calexico.
Yeah, so it'd be difficult to say what the reason, but I mean, here, the expectation, you'd be able to come make that report, get the license plate, we would do the follow-up as if it would be any other misdemeanor crime. And I know that our department does that and does a very good job of that. So I would have been a little bit surprised had you told me that was actually here.
No, it was in Calexico, and I had a private investigator. I got the information, and I already have the information. Thank you. Saying that about we could work something out with the police because we know most of the license plates. But see, this is what happens. They're gonna laugh. Okay, if you charge them like $200-300, if they get caught, oh, they'll laugh. Like it's just like going to Mexicali and you're drunk and then you give them 500 pesos, they'll let you go. That's why everybody drinks in Mexicali. You know, same thing here. You charge them 200.
I
Nothing.
agree that, but typically the 600 to get the car out is more of the little bit of a difficulty. Plus, they have to have an actual license that would meet what they're doing, and a lot of them don't. And so actually, they would have to go typically get that type of license to remove the vehicle sometimes, or they're not the registered owner. The registered owner would have to take care of it. But typically to get a vehicle release, I don't know what it is, Deputy Chief, but I would think it's over $200 to get a release from the police department. And then they still pay the storage and the tow. This is where it hits them right at the very beginning. And then there's also the court that they would have to attend to. So you're absolutely right. Typically that would be a hit, but we don't just give them a ticket. The vehicle needs to be stored. That's where it's being used in an illegal manner.
What if it's a second time?
Well,
Will be the same thing, or a second time it's worse?
I don't know.
Then that might stop
That
them.
might be a court issue because they would look up and see, or maybe, but I don't want to get into the weeds with this. But I do want to let you know that there's some proactive, and now things have changed, and that's why I would like you to get in contact our deputy chiefs here.
Sure.
Perhaps maybe they can step out when you're done, and then and have this conversation. We've done proactive measures in the past, and you're right. They're small victories, and it's a completely different world. I'm seeing everyone's having things delivered now. Not on top of that, but you have all these other ride sharing platforms out there, where you can call Lyft or you can call an Uber. And so when I know that when we were looking at the backup in this rate, we were looking at what they were charging, where the rate kind of came looking at 4 years of change, if you're looking at 20%, 25%, you're doing a 5% increase per year to get to 2026. So I know that our finance has been pushing that. We do want to be very mindful, as we do everything up here with our seniors, because they are on a fixed budget most of the time. We do appreciate wholeheartedly that you guys do the ride shares over to the cancer center.
The other day, a gentleman calls and says, how much do you charge to the IBC? I said, so much. There's others that charge 15, 20, but I'll charge you 10. I said, I only have 7. Give me your address. I'll go pick it. Really? Yeah. Give me your address. I'll go pick. I mean, he's not going to a bar. He's going to IBC. Come on. So I think if city, it's with all due respect, see, we're not all perfect. Only Jesus was perfect. If you could get the students at IBC, sometimes the bus, they're late, they're working or something, and they just go. They don't have money. If you could, I don't know, give them 25 or 50 a month each. That would do a lot of help. Even for an Uber, I don't care for a taxi. Even for an Uber, they could pay an Uber
Just a
something.
voucher in general,
Yeah,
so.
but yeah, I mean, we try to help them anytime we can.
Well, we appreciate your presentation up here. and
Thank
we-
you very
we
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Before I let you go, sir,
Oh, yes.
was there anything else? I want to make sure. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And if I may, Liz, just confirming, you're looking for some direction from council. This is not a,
Yes. So I would like to see if you would like the scenario 1, scenario 2, or you would like to propose any other. I understand that they were not suggesting any increase, well, they don't, any discount for the seniors. We are, in both scenarios, we are showing a special price for senior citizens.
yes. Council, do you have,
Do you have any questions for me?
Councilman Ricard, do you have any?
Can you put scenario 2 again, please, Liz?
Yeah, I'm thinking about the seniors and
This is 1, this is
that's
2.
one,
Mhm.
that's 2.
So that does raise the standard fee up just a little bit, but lowers the senior fee
Senior
down
fee.
just a little bit,
Mhm.
so.
So we base, the major factors here are probably the gas, from 2022, when this was last updated until 2025, the average increase is 22.36%. So that's why we get these numbers based on because that's the main factor for them. The insurance, that they vary, depends on the model, the car. So that one was a little bit hard to go for the insurance. We understand. So that's why we know that they have increased between 25-35%. But at least gas prices, we all pay gas prices, and that's more.
Well, I mean, obviously, the hope would be that we would see some decline at some point. It's certainly, the city is also feeling the pinch of that. I will ask a question about how are the rates displayed in the fare? Is there typically a slide card that, because I believe, if I recall in the taxis, there's typically who your driver type, and then your rates have to be displayed so you can see what it is that you're.
Yes, or in our ordinance, it says that it has to be displayed. Trying to look here.
Is that typically confirmed during inspection times?
So I have here all the taxi cab application checklist. Here in the checklist, it has to be inspected, but it's not stating that in the inspections, it's included to check that the prices or the cost, the rate fares are included there. Well, are showing or posted in any place where the customer can see them. But in our ordinance, it states that they do have to show the price, let me show you here.
Fares.
The first, yes. It says, okay, every taxi cab shall display at all time in conspicuous place the passenger compartment is sign storing in clearly legible characters the rates or fares charged and the manner in which charged, fixed rate or meter for carrying passengers, the owner's name or the fictitious name under which the owner operates, the business address, and telephone number of such owner and company's business license number.
Okay.
Section 2783 in our ordinance.
So I mean, regardless, and I'm sure that we have everyone who's fair and equitable, but I think that whatever rates are agreed upon, or at least provided by the city, should be displayed. Perhaps
Okay,
we even put that in our inspection request, but
I can check with our city attorney and we can probably during the inspection, see how we can just include the language just to, during the inspection, so we can just check these are displayed. Yeah.
okay, very good. Question?
Question, Liz or the drivers that are here, do you have any idea the percentage of seniors that ride compared to the general population? What the percentage of seniors is? Is it half? Is it more? Is it less?
Well.
Do you know the percentage of how many
How many
seniors
every day?
every day? If more than the normal customers or you have?
No, maybe 2 or 3 sometimes. Well, but my company 2 or 3 seniors every day sometimes. I don't know the other.
Okay, so only a few seniors.
Yeah, a few seniors.
Okay, thank you.
Well,
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
But that's for his company. He said it's
Yes.
a different company for the other
Yes,
gentleman.
yes.
We've
well,
got,
I'm
I believe we have 3 different companies represented here.
Well, I think he's
I
out
think he's
talking
talking
Oh, the
to.
about
office,
Magnesh.
yeah.
Yeah,
If it was more than, in other words, if it was more than half of the fares are seniors, then that could, pose a problem with our,
20 to 30%? Okay. The other
Of the
gentleman says
seniors?
20 to 30%, yeah.
and if we're just doing a sample, that would probably be consistent across the board unless we had, do we have another representative or are they both from the same company?
He's outside with,
We just have 2.
Officer.
you want to talk to them? Oh,
Sure.
Uh-huh.
I think it's important that we have all the
yes,
information.
I think so. I think that would be a concern.
yeah,
Find that out.
sometimes seniors are more
Uh-huh.
old school. They will like to just call and they're not used to the
Yes.
apps, so.
Certainly.
Well, the
Yeah.
question is the percentage of daily passengers that are seniors. Where do you put that on, basically?
The senior, I don't know, $7, $8, you know, let's say we go to 10, $7, $8.
No,
No,
I'm saying how many
The-
of your riders
Oh,
every day?
it's quite a few,
Half, less than half, more than half?
it varies, but sometimes it could be half. And sometimes it could go maybe a little bit over half. Yeah, right here on the valley, that's what it is, you know, here.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
No, thank you.
So we have a little bit of a variety.
And so
So,
we wouldn't be able to round it off instead of $9.75, like $10.
we
Instead
could.
of $5.25, $5.
I think these are, if I'm understanding correctly, these are some proposals. But we
Okay.
certainly can decide based on the information
Yes.
that we have just
Mhm.
obtained,
Yes.
that if we felt that maybe this one should be here, this one here, and then I can tell you the wait time, the maximum wait are higher than the request, and that the standard and the seniors are considerably lower than the request. So we've kind of, where we've looked at this and this, but if you want to, it would be a 25% increase if you went to 10.
Yes.
From its standard now. And if you look at what Lyft and Uber is doing, they are 7 to 12.
Mhm.
950 was about halfway
Mhm.
in between. So if we want to lean to 10 and try to keep the senior fare down,
Yes,
perhaps that is something that we all can wrap our head around.
Yeah.
I can.
And
Yeah.
the other thing I'm thinking about is like nobody carries change. you
Well,
know?
Well, that's-
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think our, yeah, but I think
25
our,
cents, you know, the
honestly,
Yeah.
if you're a senior, I think you do. Trust me.
Like this.
I think seniors are accustomed to carrying change
Their little
and
coin purses, huh, Marty?
exactly being ready. They know exactly what it's going to cost before they get in, and that's what they
Mhm.
have.
Well, let alone change. Most people don't even carry cash, so.
Yeah, let me tell
So-
you, I can attest to that. Okay,
That's
so
true.
that's why
We're
I'm
coming-
thinking in
But-
terms of,
Yes.
you know, what people carry nowadays,
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
even seniors.
Yes.
Okay,
Be
I
better
get
to
a
have
lot-
it at $10
I
and
deal with a lot of
$5.
seniors at church. you
10
know,
and
Yes.
five?
Okay, so
Yeah,
that's
10
why
and
I'm
5, I
saying,
think.
Okay,
10 and 5?
10 and 5.
I'm
10 and
good
5?
I'm good with the 10 and the 5.
Uh-huh.
So that's
Okay.
gonna be your direction, I believe, because I'm with that. So your
But
standard fare would be
what
at
about-
10.
We'll make a motion.
What about the
do
max
we have
and
to
the
make a
wait?
motion?
What about the wait and the max times? Are we gonna leave?
You have
Leave it
50,
like that?
60, or 65 cents per minute.
I meant, okay, I'm gonna make a motion that we
Okay.
do the standard fare at 10, senior fare at 5, wait time at 60 cents per minute with a maximum wait of $35 an hour. That would be my motion.
And I'll second that motion.
Councilmember Allen, we need your motion.
I didn't save it.
Yeah.
Motion passes 5-0. Perfect. So just to, standard 10, seniors 5, 60 cents per minute, $30 maximum. 35, sorry, 35. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you. Thank you, folks, for your presentation. We move on to item number 12, Abraham Campos, PD project. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, honorable mayor and council members. I really only have a picture, no presentation, so we'll make this quick. So before you, just to give you a quick update on where we at behind the scenes in the police station. So we all know when we drive Main Street, great, big, beautiful building. It looks fun from Main Street. But this was just recently taken. This is what's happening behind those fences that we can't see. The park, this area is being the central part of this image. This is where the old building was. No longer there. This is the last phase of the project. And in turn now, in the east side of the property, we see what's become an underground detention basin for stormwater. And under this area is all of these yellow domes that will hold the water underneath the parking lot. So it'll be all hidden when it's completed. There's work ongoing on 11th Street, which is over here. And there's also work going on Broadway as we speak. So the project, as you may recall, was originally meant to be one big construction, two main phases. Phase 1 would be the construction of the buildings A and B, which is the administration and the support building. And the demolition would be part 2 or phase 2, the demolition of the building, as well as the construction of the parking lot. During construction, just because of the mechanics of how to move from one building to another, it was shifted from phase 1 to phase 1A and phase 1B, which is building A and building B. Building B in itself is still not up and running. There's still work happening on building B, which is the second floor holds the firing range, and the bottom has some offices and storage and shop areas. So that's still under construction. And building B is the one in the background over here. You can see that there's still open doors and construction is still ongoing. It's almost done, but not quite done yet. So with that background, item 12, which is Balfour Beatty Construction Management, is we are looking for an amendment in time. So the original expected timeframe was about March, and it's been creeping. Right now, the expected completion date is July 1. So we're almost there, but we're out of contract staff time for the construction manager. The contract is active in terms of it's alive, but we've used up the hours available in that. So we're here asking for amendment number 3 in the amount of $63,893 on top of the already $2,053,810 for a total revised CM contract of $2,117,703 to get us to that finish line in the construction management services. We've been able to work with the construction manager. Actually, they are in this call as of a few minutes ago to ask any questions regarding the need. But we've been able to work with them, and because we're at the end of the construction, they're no longer present 5 days a week. That's been reduced to 3 days a week to be able to, we stretch every dollar as far as we can. But with that, I'm looking for a motion or to approve the amendment as presented, or to answer any questions or comments.
Do you have any questions? Of course I do.
Of course.
So I'm a little bit confused because we're talking about hours, but you set a date.
Mhm.
So if I'm understanding this 63,000 plus would give us 5 weeks. If the date's July 1st.
Mhm.
But if we're looking and we're dropping into 3 days a week and this is hour related, if it's based on hours, could we go into July 15th and it would work? And we'd still have hours on the books to get this project across the line. My concern here is the first Tuesday in July, we're going to talk about number 4, that we still need 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And so is this an hour related thing for the money when you broke it down to ask for this amount? Or is it just you're anticipating that's going to get us to July 1st?
It's hours to get us to July 1st. So the way it's calculated by the CM is 8 hours a day. They're not local. There's not many CMs that can do this magnitude of local. So they relocate here. They're in town for those 3 days. Basically, they used to rent a place, I believe, to be able to stay here. They return on the weekend to San Diego to their families, and then they come back again on Monday, right? So they cannot charge us for like 2 hours or 3 hours or partial days, right? So they're here the whole day because they're relocating from San Diego here during that week to be present on site.
Not just confirming 3 days per week is what you're
Correct. So
saying. And they would be consecutive because that would be
That's how we.
Yeah, you wouldn't be bouncing back and forth.
No, so Monday through Wednesday, that's the agreement for them to be here, and Thursday, Friday, basically Thursday, Friday, they're not here. The CM is directed to another contract for Thursday and Friday.
So we're basically talking somewhere around 15 days. Thank you. Any other questions? Go ahead.
Make a motion. Make a motion to approve the amendment.
I will second.
Have a motion and second? Abraham, which one am I pushing?
You're a coster.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for my public works gift. No.
As mentioned earlier that we tabled, or we have had 13, so we'll move on to task force and conference reports. Sylvia, would you like to start us on this?
Sure. Wait. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
So since our last meeting, I was in attendance at the SCAG General Assembly and meeting, and I was honored to have served as the voting delegate. They selected and elected new officers for the coming year. And there was another item on the agenda that right now I just cannot remember what that is, but just so that you kind of get an idea of all the information that we were provided in order to, the background information so that we could vote on 2 items. This is quite a hefty package, but. So I was also at the ribbon cutting ceremony for Raising Cane. I don't know if you've passed by there, but probably for about 3 days after the opening, the drive-through line was all the way to the entrance, the south entrance of where Lowe's is, continuously, throughout the day. I know that I've passed by several times, and it's just unbelievable. So, the economic boom that we're going to experience on that end is just awesome. So that, and we also had our virtual budget meeting, which we tuned into. So I hope that residents tuned in. I know that there were several questions, that were asked during that half-hour session. But, this is, again, as a goal to really inform our residents about, what all the factors are that we take into preparing the annual budget here at the city. And I know it's a lot to take in, but it's just like you slowly start to extract the things that are of interest to us and to the residents. And I know that this is something that in time, they'll gain a little bit better understanding of all the numbers that are presented to us during our actual annual budget meeting. So, during these last couple of weeks, we've also had an ECRMC special meeting, a special council meeting, and also had a Friends of El Centro Foundation meeting yesterday. And so we approved 2 donations for youth activities throughout the city. And one other thing that I would also like to mention, I know that colleagues, that you all received an email from our city clerk in regards to the Cal Cities Division meeting that is coming up in June. And so I'd really like to encourage you to attend, because this one is going to be a joint meeting with the Riverside County Division. Okay, so location is to be still working on where we're going to meet, but please plan on attending. Okay, so, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. Marty?
Yes, so last Tuesday, I was at a citizens advisory committee for Centinela Prison, and this next meeting would be June, and that'll be our last meeting for the summer. We go dark, but we are planning to. In August, probably the hottest day of the year, we will be giving away again another 180 pairs of shoes that is fundraised by the inmates themselves, and they agree to how the money is going to be spent. Kids usually get backpacks and school supplies, but rarely a brand new pair of shoes of their choice. So that is what we're going to be working on in August. We're very happy about that and the participation. Then the same day, last Tuesday, we swore in 3 more firemen and 1 public works. 4 firemen, thank you. 4 firemen, wow. So we are, if I'm not mistaken, we are full, chief, to now all the positions?
The suppression level, yes.
Okay, at the suppression level, at the current level. Okay, so we are full in a way, but this is another big gain for us to have 4 new fellas on staff, on board to take up the slack, as well as Public Works. We're very happy about that. So that's my report.
Very much. Sonia?
Transportation, the ICTC, they've been busy. They have the groundbreaking in Calexico. It was a 15-month transportation project. I was just looking it up. It's for the, I was looking for the name of it, what it was.
Intermodal transfer station?
Yes, thank you. In Calexico. Very nice. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yes, it was a very good groundbreaking. It was at 8 o'clock in the morning. Everybody was wondering why until about 9 o'clock hit and that heat starting hit. And then they were like, oh, now we see why they had it 8 o'clock in the morning. So then I also attended the SCAG, and we also got the award for the economic award that day as well. Very nice, very nice. I'm glad to be a part of that team. Raising Cane's there for the grand opening. Very good turnout. A lot of people. You've heard a lot of good comments. A lot of people are very happy that that has came to El Centro. I did attend the special council meeting, the hospital board meeting. Also, always out there talking to the community, being a part of the community, and that's all I have to report. Thank you.
Audie?
Most of what they said as well. Attended SCAG, was able to talk to two vendors there regarding veteran housing and funding that I'm in contact with. On Monday, I had the privilege of going back to Imperial Beach and having a meeting with the American Legion and Cassandra Gregory and Peggy. I don't know if I reported on that or not, but I'll say it again. And then Peggy Price, I'm sorry to say, who's the chairperson of the Veteran Advisory Council. Also had the Imperial Valley Regional Chamber of Commerce meeting along with Mario, our PIO officer. I was talking about, we have our upcoming homeless and downtown meeting, hoping to give information to the community on that. Was very sad to see the closure of Jamba Juice so fast. So, you know, it just really hit hard for some reason, because we were at that grand opening and you can see the passion of the owners that were there and so forth. And, you know, I started having conversations with some of our residents, and there were, you know, a lot of our residents have home-based business and they sell from their home. And I see that they were saying, you know, is there a possibility of having some type of commercial community kitchen available for us so that we can expand and, you know, ensure that our business is successful, that it's difficult for them to get that. So I do want to explore that. Also, I just wanted to say, as far as the firefighters and so forth that were hired, you know, we're very grateful for them, and for all. We had a public works employee also, and we're very grateful for that. And I just have a hard time hearing or saying, and I know you don't mean it that way, but that we're full. Because when, as the chief said about suppressed, the thing is that we have to look at what our numbers are now. How our city has grown. And when we look at the numbers of employees that we have, and those numbers are based on a projection from years ago, not looking into the numbers that our population swells during the day, not looking into how our population has grown and so forth. There's a lot of work to be done as far as trying to bring our city up to where it's not just surviving, but thriving. In order to be able to support our residents, to support the services that we give to our residents through public works, through the service of even just coming to pay a bill, to our police, our fire, and so forth. So we have a lot of work to do as a council and as a city together, to make sure that we're looking at every avenue possible to increase revenue so that we can increase the hiring that's needed. You know, we have I saw our public works individuals cleaning some of the thoroughways, and it made a big difference. But, you know, can you believe we only have 4 of those employees citywide that are responsible for cleaning our city? And then we wonder why people complain about, and I'll say myself too, that the city doesn't look, you know, as pristine as it should. And that's because the city's working on numbers that are no longer relevant. And we need change to be able to bring, we need updated numbers to be able to bring the changes that we need to provide for all the concerns that our residents bring to us. And I just wanted to say that we're looking at that. We're working on that. We have one more goal setting meeting that we're hoping to have set soon, because it's not just about being able to implement compensation studies. It's making sure that classification studies are done as well. And I think that that's really important. I think they should have been done simultaneously because those type of things usually go hand in hand. And when you work that way, you avoid different types of what is it, suppression, compaction, I'm sorry, between different positions. And those are things that, we're sort of going to have to work backwards on because the way it was approved, a compensation study without the classification, but we're working on that, and hopefully we're going to start on that after we're done. But hopefully that will be able to help us to be able to move the city forward, because there's needs, and those will mean jobs for our residents, and we'll hopefully go forward with that. So that's all I have to say for now. And I want to also acknowledge the Reps for Vets statement that you made. I know can say as a board that, as a council, that homelessness is very important. We've just established the veteran committee here, so we'll be in contact.
Very good. Thank you. Well,
Mayor, just one more
Sure,
comment, real quick,
sure.
just one statement. I would just remind everyone, we just had Hospital Week. About a week ago was Hospital Week. I'd like to encourage everyone to thank people that work at the hospital that pray for the hospital. They're working under difficult circumstances. And just pray that this transition will go smoothly. So just wanted to say that before we end the night. Thank you,
Very
Mr.
good.
Mayor.
Yes, thank you. Well, I had a couple scheduling conflicts and I wasn't able to make everything I wanted to. And Chief, I wanted to let you know, it wasn't your comments last time you were here that caused me not to be at the swearing in. I would have been there, but no, I'm very happy. I'm very excited that our public safety is becoming stronger and getting to the place where we need just to get by, as you said. And then as Councilmember Camarena was bringing up, that we absolutely see in the several decades prior that the city has grown immensely, and we have not kept up with it from a service standpoint. We've continued to ask our departments to do more with less. We need to make sure that that is not the mantra moving on. So we are mindful of that. The second thing is I missed the Raising Cane, and if you know me, I don't miss food. So I really would have had a scheduling conflict to miss that, but I understand it was really great. I've seen it with a couple different businesses. It starts off very, impact, and then it will taper down as everyone gets their fill for a while. Hopefully not too much, because these businesses count on this type of volume. Did go to the hospital. That we have some very important topics in front of this council that, and the hospital is certainly one of the big ones. We want to get this across the finish line. We want to be mindful of the city, the community, the hospital, both in the city limits and as a county. But we need to be, first and foremost, we are council for the city of El Centro. We want to make sure that we are doing this, or we're making decisions that are in the best interest of our community and the best interest of the city. That's a big one, but I will say probably one of the most important functions is bringing up to the budget. This is our budget season. And I think for most people, and one of the wonderful things about council is that typically you live in the city in which you serve. So any impact on the community is an impact on us. So with that being said, we take that responsibility, our fiduciary responsibility, very serious when it comes to the budget. We look at our services. We want to make sure that we're filling the needs first, the wants second, and being very mindful of our community, what we're trying to achieve, our staff, what they're asking for, what they feel they need to get some of these things done. But I think there has been a push in capital projects in some things. I think really one of the things that this council, and I'm very proud of being on this council for this purpose, is that we are the representatives of our community who are making these decisions. With all the stuff going on in California, I need to be able to look myself in the mirror and say, we're making the right decisions for this community. It may not always be perfect, but we're trying. And if I can do that, and I think if all of us can do that, we're pretty good with it. And that's why we're taking our time with the budget. We're just not approving things as they go. But there's quite a few things that are extremely important for us to be successful for the upcoming fiscal year. And again, we have a bunch of different committees and meetings that are coming up. And we all take that very serious on the council. I say this kind of in global that, you know, I shouldn't say rest assured, but understand that we are committed to doing the right thing for the right reasons. With that, I had a pilot program start up, and I would like to complete it, where I have our PIO, Mario Renteria, come up and do the mayor's mentions.
I love it.
Today it includes presentation.
All right.
Something you never see from me.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, Council, and members of the public. We'd like to share a few upcoming events taking place in the city of El Centro. Additional information can be found in the City of El Centro social media pages, and residents can also sign up for the city's free mass notification system to receive important alerts directly to their phone or email. Tomorrow, we will be hosting the Public Works Expo from 8 a.m. to noon here at City Hall Courtyard. This event will highlight the essential services provided by the Public Works Department and showcase the infrastructure that supports the community every day. The Ice Cream Social invites the community to enjoy a special combined ice cream social, Rain on Main, and Market Days event this Friday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the corner of 6th and Main Streets in downtown El Centro. The evening will feature sweet treats, local vendors, live music, a kids zone, and Rain on Main provided by the El Centro Fire Department. The event will also feature 47 local vendors.
Wow.
The City of El Centro invites the community to attend Nights of Melody on Friday, May 29th from 6 to 9 p.m. at the historic Old Post Office Pavilion. This free community event will feature live performances by talented local musicians in an evening centered around music, community, and connections. The City of El Centro also released its Summer Recreation Guide, now available. Residents can explore a variety of summer activities and programs offered through the Aquatic Center, Library, Parks and Recreation, and more. Registration is now open. You can access the guide on our website. And lastly, the City of El Centro, in coordination with the Veterans of Foreign Boards Post 9305, will host a Memorial Day ceremony at 10 a.m. on Monday, May 25th at Buckland Park. Community members are invited to attend as we come together to honor and remember the brave men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice in service to our nation and our freedoms. Thank you.
Thank you, Mario. I don't think I could have done that better myself. So. And I do want to just one last mention that if you miss anything, we do a council recap that is on our website that kind of goes over a lot of these. Plus, I would imagine these are on our sites now. So I just say that for anyone who may be in the audience, or if you want to pass that along. With that being said, it is 7:50. If there's no issues, that will conclude our meeting.